So we have been doing a lot of open source intelligence and reconnaissance engagements for attack simulation and penetration testing engagements, and we thought it would be good to speed up the reconnaissance process so we have more time to focus on the exploitation process, which is the main phase of a penetration test. So in order to do that, instead of manually doing repetitive reconnaissance tasks each time, we developed this tool, AttackSurfaceMapper, which is open source, and we released it yesterday at Black Hat to speed up the process and let the penetration tester, security consultant, focus on the rest of the phases of an engagement. So AttackSurfaceMapper is a tool that aims to simplify and automate the reconnaissance process, and it does that by taking a single IP address, a single domain, or a list containing a mixture of both, and then it proceeds to use a set of passive and active reconnaissance techniques to gather intelligence. So how it works is the first phase is the input phase, where the targets are validated and verified. There's a valid domain or a valid IP address. The next phase is the discovery phase, and one of the most important phases of the tool, which we have the expansion of the targets. So we get a target and then try to find subdomains and other IP addresses related to that subdomain, and then expand our attack surface using related ASN numbers. And so the next phase is the gathering phase, where all the modules run, the passive and active modules, find intelligence and information related to the targets. And then the last phase is the presentation phase, where the output is either exported in text files or CSV files, or in the terminal, where the user can see, as the tool runs, he can see the output in his screen. So the tool is really easy to use and really easy to set up as well. It's written in Python 3, so to set it up, you just run the requirements files using the pip install packager, and to run it, you just use a simple command like python 3 asm.py and then the target list, and it will run. So it's really easy for anyone to use, not only for penetration testers and security specialists like us, but also for team members of the internal security teams of our clients. And that's why we made it open source, so anyone can use it and discover the true attack surface of the organization. So the power of this tool comes from combining APIs and other reconnaissance techniques into a single framework. And to do that, we used multiple sources. For our organization, it's important to run this tool to find out what kind of open source intelligence techniques the bad guys can use to scrap data about their websites, about their employees from LinkedIn, and also queries past the data breaches, so you will find usernames and passwords already released in the wild. So I think it's important for every organization to use this kind of tools to find out what the bad guys can find about them, what kind of information, because this tool really finds all the open source intelligence related to the organization. So that's why we released it open source, so anyone can run it and find the true attack surface of the organization. So AttackSurfaceMapper, what it really does is like a mini Google search engine, and will find all related information about the organization, so that each user of the tool can use to discover the true attack surface of his organization or her organization. I think it's really important for these tools to be open source, because the bad guys already have this information. As I mentioned earlier, this information is not private, it's open source. What we really have done here is just combine all these public APIs into a single framework, so it will be easier for anyone to see the exposure of the information assets on the internet. And then they can take the security measures to prevent attackers from exploiting their attack surface.